The 2020-21 season is now finally here, and it's the first season we've had in a while where things are actually shifting drastically. We've seen players coming into the league as rookies become stars in a matter of games. We've seen coaches move from one conference to another in a matter of months. We've seen teams that got swept in the playoffs become powerhouses in their own conferences. One of the things that will change drastically this season in my eyes is the winner of the NBA MVP award. In the history of the NBA, the MVP has usually been given to the player who, in the eyes of the voters, had the best season with the best team. You may not necessarily need the best team, but if you put up crazy stats that no one has ever seen in over 40 years, then there's a great chance that you'll be the MVP. Just recently, the odds for MVP were put up, and there's already a multitude of sources picking the top names like Luka Doncic, Giannis, and Steph Curry. But let me tell you that no one on this list is anyone who I actually think will be MVP. The player who I'm talking about is a player who has never been in the MVP conversation. A player who's never been recognized throughout his whole career as one of the elite. A player who I believe will prove people wrong again this season, just like he's done many times before. And the player I'm talking about, of course, is Damian Lillard. He may not be the biggest player on the court, nor the most athletic, but Damian Lillard has always been the most fearless guy on his team who always places winning first. Damian Lillard has always been the guy who puts his team before himself and puts it on himself to lead them to wherever they're supposed to be. He'll do anything just to get a win for his team. Lillard will put up 40 plus shots, play all 48 minutes, and score 60 plus points just in order for his team to have a chance to win a game that they have no business winning. Damian Lillard doesn't get all the credit he deserves, mainly due to his lack of success in the playoffs. He's never really been brought up in the discussions for MVP in his career. He's had great seasons, yes, but he's never stood out as one of those guys who people say he's the best at his position. He's never played at a big school, nor received much attention until he spent more seasons in the NBA. Lillard may not have all the hardware and awards to show for it, but it's been established that he's already one of the elite superstars in this league. He's currently one of, if not the best active point guard 6'4" and below in the league. Damian Lillard has abilities that only very few other NBA players have. He has long range that allows him to pull up from the logo at will. He can take the ball to the rim and attack the basket like no other with his athleticism. He can make shots in the clutch with no hesitation because of his alpha gene. His fearless attitude is paralleled with almost no one else in the league. It doesn't matter if someone's bigger or stronger than him, Lillard doesn't back down from any challenge that comes at him. We all know and have seen what Damian Lillard can do to opposing teams. But to me, there's other reasons why I believe that Dame Dollar will become this season's MVP undoubtedly. First, looking at last season, Lillard had probably the best year of his career, coming off dropping 30 points and 8 assists. Last season was also the first time in Damian Lillard's career where he shot 40% from 3 and had a career high of 46% shooting from the field. He led the league by far in shots made from 30 plus feet, which he made more than 60. In both the regular season last year and in the bubble, Lillard led the league in most 60-point games in which he had 3. There was only one other guy who had one 60-point game, and that guy was James Harden. To add to that, Lillard has always been a consistent scorer where his numbers almost always rise every year. Throughout Lillard's career, he's only ever averaged less than 20 points one time, which came from his rookie year where he was 1 point off, averaging 19 points that year. Nevertheless, he still won Rookie of the Year that year over guys like Anthony Davis and Bradley Beal. He may have never led the league in scoring any year, but it's well known that Lillard has been one of the top 5 scorers in the past 5 years. One could probably say it that Lillard has been the best all-around scorer being a point guard at his position the last 5 years. He's been averaging 24 points his entire career, which is 17th all-time for career averages of all players who played in the NBA. Based on what he did last year, it's evident that Lillard's on the rise and he's looking to do more than he's ever done. The guy just turned 30 in July, and right now, he's still at the peak of his career. Plus, Lillard isn't a guy who's known to suffer many injuries as he takes good care of his body, and he's looking to take advantage of that this season. In addition to that, Lillard is motivated from all the talk surrounding him and his ability to bring his team deep into the playoffs. During his time in the league, Lillard has only ever played with one other All-Star, which was LaMarcus Aldridge, and the last time both of them played together was 5 years ago in 2015. Despite that, taking away his first year, Lillard has always taken his team to the playoffs in some way or another. In his 8-year career, however, Lillard hasn't really advanced very far in the playoffs. He's been knocked out of the first round and the second round 3 times, and only reached the Western Conference Finals once 2 seasons ago, where he got swept. Lillard is, however, known for all his series-ending buzzer beaters, such as those against Houston and Oklahoma. Lillard may have some of the greatest game-winning buzzer beaters in NBA history, but he understands that his legacy shouldn't be based off getting out of the first round and then losing immediately in the next round. Moreover, Lillard has constantly been compared to another player of his position, which is Steph Curry. Curry and Lillard are constantly put in the same debates with each other because of their similar skill sets. They both have limitless range from outside, they both have killer handles that can break ankles, they both can set up plays and control the offense for their teams. They're both the standards in terms of how many see the point guard position in the NBA today. But Curry, unlike him, has already won 2 regular season MVPs, and to add to that, 3 NBA championships to back those up. Curry's been to 5 straight finals, 6 straight All-Star games, and has led the league in both points and steals. And almost every year he's been in the league, Lillard has seen Steph ranked above him as the NBA's best point guard and the guy who makes his team better than others. Seeing all of this throughout his career, Lillard has obviously become tired and is now determined to change the narrative this year by trying to improve both himself and his team. Lillard knows that the success of his team is predicated on his own success and the way he can take on to lead them to even greater success. Lillard's motivation to me is one of the factors that contributed to him becoming one of the top 5 players of this season and MVP of the league. This year especially, there's no excuse for Lillard. Even though he's in the West, he has almost all the right pieces around him. The Trailblazers have made under-the-radar moves that put the team in a better position from last season. This year, the Trailblazers have upgraded from last season and have added defensive perimeter guys like Robert Covington and Derrick Jones Jr., who both share experiences in the playoffs. The Blazers have kept many of the great role players from last season, such as sharpshooters in Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood, and have even added an offensive threat in Enes Kanter. The Blazers have also kept their stars in CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic, and have held on to Carmelo Anthony. This is probably the best team that Lillard has ever had around him, and probably his best shot and only shot at going deep into the West this season. The Blazers have a chance this season to prove that they can become one of the top forces in the Western Conference, if healthy, and if Damian Lillard plays at the same pace and the same level that he did last season, which I believe he will. If his team can reach just a top 3 seed in the West, there's no doubt in my mind that Lillard will at least finish top 2 in the MVP discussion by the end of the season. And looking at the history of the MVP, it's been proven that in recent years, the MVP has been favoring guards. If we're looking at the past few years, 3 of the past 4 MVPs have been guards, so Lillard is at somewhat of an advantage here in winning this award. But what do you guys think about my argument? Do you think Lillard actually has a shot to be MVP, or do you think someone else is going to have a better season than him? Let me know down in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more weekly content like this. Peace.